All right, everyone, welcome back to another episode of Inside Fnatic's Brush. Or actually, have I've been naming them inside MSI's Volcano for those who've been looking on the YouTube channel, the VODs. Um, a little bit of a name change during the event, but yeah, welcome back. We've just gone through the Rumble stage, and we've had some banger games, to be honest. Some surprising results. I had predicted, as you know, basically the top major regions to go out. So Damwon, RNG, Mad Lions, and Cloud9. And NA being NA, of course, there was one group stage too much for them. And when it came to qualifying to a playoff stage, they failed again. So Cloud9, commiserations, but it didn't happen. It didn't happen for you guys, and PSG actually makes it in the top four, and instead we've had obviously Pentanet, who, as we kind of expected, didn't do much in the end, but gave us some interesting games. In the end, yep, they C9 Burger flipped it as Fire saying. Absolutely, absolutely. But yeah, on the show today, what we're gonna do is obviously mention the Rumble stage, go a bit through the teams, the outstanding games, maybe have some of you guys come on board and share some of your highlights. We'll be going obviously into the playoffs, so Friday, Saturday, and Sunday is just done all in one go. We're gonna have RNG versus PSG, and then on the other side, Damwon versus Mad Lions. So that's going to be two interesting games, and I'll be going as usual over my predictions that we'll share with you at the end of the podcast. Cool. In that case, let's start talking about the Rumble stage. Um, the sort of prediction that I had and some people who came onto the show shared was that there's RNG at the top. Damwon was kind of faltering, and we were expecting them maybe to lose a few games to the middle and bottom of the pack, and then Cloud9 having the sort of resurrection at the end of the initial group stage. We thought that they would maybe come a bit more solid and actually challenge Mad Lions in the end, and then we would have maybe PSG and Pentanet. Pentanet really being the dark horse. Well, not even a dark horse, just really no chance for them. And then PSG not looking maybe as good as we expected them in the group stage, and things completely changed. I was quite surprised by the outcome. We have, first of all, we have Damwon, who literally lost to no one except RNG. They lost two games, and that was against RNG. And in their first game against RNG, it looked like they were going to win. They were ahead in the early game, where they're usually in most of their weak points is actually in the early game most of the time. And there they looked controlled, but instead they got out team fought by RNG, it felt like. And when Damwon is usually like controlled, and the moment they get a lead, they're able to take control more on a macro level, and they get your turret, and they get the vision inside of your jungle, and they basically choke you out bit by bit. RNG was just like, nope, we're just gonna fight you, and we're gonna out team fight you, and in the end, they won both games. On the other hand, RNG, who we thought was just gonna come in, slap people, probably go undefeated, lost games to PSG, Cloud9, and Mad Lions, which we definitely didn't expect. We had mentioned that obviously RNG was a bit of an easier group stage, being against Pentanet and UOL, so not much of a challenge in the end. But while they looked very strong against Damwon, they got completely overhauled by these other teams, and especially like if I remember correctly, the Mad Lion games, or game I should say, where they won. It didn't even look close. Like they completely stomped them, massive gold advantage, and they just closed out the game in a very natural way. It felt like so. I was quite impressed by this. C9 unfortunately choke, and C9 is just a massive question mark for me. They seem to perform so well against RNG and Damwon. You're like, oh my god, they're gonna do it, they're gonna do it, and then you turn your back for 2 seconds. They lost the game. They lost the game. They make like a single mistake, and then it's completely turned over. And it's a bit of a shame because it feels like their potential could have been so much more, but they didn't control much when it came to the mid to late game, and it cost them basically qualification into the playoffs. Um, which I've been looking at a few interviews from players, as well from like the Damwon and RNG players who've been saying Cloud9's final result doesn't necessarily reflect their actual level, which I actually kind of agree. And while it's always fun in games to meme on NA, it feels like it's a missed opportunity for them in the end. Really, I feel they could have gone much further and maybe shown something more um, into the playoffs, maybe in a best of five version. Best of ones, it's always kind of muddy waters because can you really evaluate the strength of a team in a double round robin single game? The debate is still out there. So I'll let you guys to your conclusion. Um, and obviously we had PSG, who completely surprised to, from the group stage into the Rumble stage, they've completely exploded in their level. Maple has been insane for the team. I want to also kind of shout out River. I think it's been really crucial to the PSG team, and they team fight really well, to be honest. And um, it's when you look at it, we were kind of expecting after the first 2 days of Rumble stage that we kind of had the teams we were expecting. Mad Lions having a comfortable win over PSG, and we were like, PSG is still somewhat the same level as they were in the group stage, and they're literally the first team to be RNG starting the third day. So kind of halfway through from the Rumble stage, this is where we kind of started having the banger and the upsets, and even Cloud9 is like, oh, are they gonna win? Well, no, because they're performing well, but they're not performing well enough. And the other teams like Mad Lions and PSG, they capitalize on being able to be like RNG and being solid against the other teams. And Pentanet, who I think a lot of us maybe expected to go with 0 wins, actually just snatched a win off of anyone else but Cloud9. So it's like, I believe on that day Cloud9 beats RNG, right? And then they lose to Pentanet. It's like complete coin flip of a team. So you want to defend them and say, oh man, they're able to get a game off of RNG. RNG is like the best team coming in. There's hope for NA. And it's like the same day at the end, they're like, oh well, Pentanet, who's just kind of memeing their way through the Rumble stage, they actually get a win. So what conclusion do you make off of this? There's nothing to analyze really. So I don't know. It's weird. It's a bit of a weird one. And then Mad Lions. Um, I got kind of scared for them at one point. They looked good at the start, then they started fumbling a little bit. They managed to get the win against RNG on like day 4, day 5, and then obviously as they were qualified, it then the last game, Cloud9 against Mad Lions, didn't really matter. I'm not gonna go full copium and say, oh, they didn't play for the win. They didn't care. I still think you want to get the win in the end, especially against Cloud9. Um, so I think it's like Cloud9 kind of fighting a bit stronger, and then Mad Lions just maybe not fighting as hard. They're like, it's the final game. We're not gonna. like it doesn't matter who they face really. It's either they get third or fourth, so they're either going against Damwon or RNG. So it's like pick your poison at this stage. So there wasn't much for them to fight for. It feel they were qualified. They're going into playoffs, and that's their biggest challenge is to face one of the top two teams into a best of five. And how are you able to accomplish afterwards? So I think what I would like to do is maybe mention a few standout players, from each team. Maybe starting with Cloud9. I'm actually quite impressed by Fudge, who I think a lot of people were expecting him to kind of falter, since he's a rookie, first time international experience, going against the like of Damwon and RNG, and he actually, I think he's probably one of the best players, along with maybe Vulcan on Cloud9, and it makes you hopeful for. I was gonna say like NA rookies, but he's from OCE, isn't he? So, oh man, I mean that kind of defeats the purpose here, but still, very very good talent. Not, I guess technically not imported now that OCE kind of have that straight bridge to NA without costing an import slot. But still, super exciting for Cloud9 to have that performance from Fudge, and then Vulcan as well, who in my opinion did really well. Had some pop-up games, especially on his Alistar. So again, it feels a bit sad for Cloud9 that they choke out. You could have done more. I think they're going to go into summer split looking really strong, and I think their objective is going to be to win. I mean, it's a bit stupid to say, oh, their objectives to win summer. Of course, it's just to win summer, but even more to kind of prove a point and say, we're going to go into summer and we're going to win it. Like we're the team to beat, and we've actually gone stronger going for MSI than actually just looking like bitches and getting slapped. At least they made it to the Rumble stage. They were somewhat close to going into playoffs had they closed their games a bit better when they had the opportunity. And hopefully, it plays a strong hand for Fudge and Vulcan, who I believe it was their first international competition for both of them. Just Blabber needs to do something that like stop dying to Skull Crab. The Skull Crab has warped and poisoned junglers, man. As a jungler main, I understand what he's doing, where he's coming from, but man, it's not worth it, dude. It's not worth it. It's worth it for me because I'm in solo queue, and screw my teammates. You're gonna sacrifice your lane for me to get Skull, but not in a team context, not in a professional context. So I don't know. Maybe Blabber needs an anti-Scuttle cure going forward, because his mind has been completely like voodooed into committing his HP to that shit. So something to work on, definitely there. Going maybe a bit forward here, RNG still way in Gala, like best jungler in ADC in the world. Gala is absolutely insane. He is. It's funny that he plays on RNG, which had Uzi before, and Uzi was, considered for multiple times the best ADC in the world just for his like mechanical prowess. And Gala is like the second coming of Uzi in a sense. This kid is bonkers, dude. And Wei, man, he's scary. He's like a next generation Chan, dude. I mean, if these guys continue at the level they're going, and I don't know if they're necessarily going to win MSI. I'll share my predictions a bit later, but there's a chance. There's a chance they just win it all, because I don't know that who's gonna contest the Gala. I mean, sure they dropped some games in the best of one context, but I'm sure when we're gonna go into a best of five, that's gonna be something else. So yeah, and then obviously on Damwon Gaming, you have Showmaker and Canyon. Showmaker's doing Showmaker things. That he's we're talking best jungler, best mid laner. I think best ADC. Sorry, I think we have the best mid laner in Showmaker. He's there's not a lot of people who can contest for that title right now. It's pretty ludicrous what he's able to do on his champions, and he feels barely uncontested every time. It's a challenge to face this guy. Um, and yeah, maybe to name a few more. I think Karzi is having like actually a good tournament. Elyoya's just popping off. This guy is not afraid. You would not think this guy is having his first international tournament in his rookie year the way he's playing. He's scary. And when he's gonna come back into Summer Split, dude, he's it's gonna be him and Inspired just juking it out, and then the other junglers are gonna be like, "Yep, these guys are good, dude. They're really good." So we'll be looking at his growth with close intent going forward. And Whippo, I mean, I mean, like, just I'm gonna mention this right now, and I'm gonna mention it again at the end of the podcast. I will do a special like pre-summer split episode where I'll be covering like all confirmed roster moves, and obviously with a special focus on Fnatic. But yeah, Whippo moves, dude. Whippo in the jungle, dude. We'll see. We'll see if he's good or bad. Only time will tell. That's another discussion completely, and I think we'll have a lot of debate, and I'll be more than happy to have you guys on board, because I think there's a lot of discussion to be had on there. With that said, yeah, I think I mentioned approximately everything. Pentanet's Pentanet. They're a fun team. You can maybe mention Pabu, who's playing his games. But thank you for coming. Thank you for bringing the memes in the show. Cool team. But yeah, kind of the overview of the Rumble stage. I don't know if there's anyone there who's listening, who maybe wants to share their opinion. Any highlights, anything they want to talk about, they feel like I haven't mentioned, or they want to make stand out as usual, hit me with a thumbs up in the hashtag community podcast if you want to talk or share something. If not, I'll be moving onwards to the playoffs, but now's your time to shine, to chat, to put your voice out there to the millions and millions of people watching on the YouTube channel, of course. We are the #1 Fnatic podcast because there's no competitors, basically. But yeah, this is your chance, ladies and gentlemen. If there's no one, I'll just move forward. There's no pressure, by the way. This is just me giving you a chance to talk. This is your platform. This is your opportunity to talk. But if not, no problem. We will skate on forward and talk about playoffs. Playoffs, as I mentioned, we have RNG versus PSG, and on the other side we have Damwon versus Mad Lions. People are still talking about Fnatic. Guys, I tell you, I'll do a special episode and you'll get to talk everything about it. Let's focus on MSI. God damn it. You're ruining my content. No, I'm kidding. Yeah. RNG PSG, Damwon Gaming versus Mad Lions. I think, I'll be honest, I think those are the best outcomes we could have for the best of five. I think both of them are really exciting. Even though Damwon somehow actually manages to be the strongest team out of the Rumble stage, only losing to RNG, but beating everyone else, even though they had some close games, they still had the W. PSG being 1-1 against RNG, but could have been 2-0 if you remember the second game they played, they were ahead and they were like, oh my god, they're actually gonna 2-0 RNG, and RNG kind of flipped it around. Like they do quite a bit. It feels like they're even when they're behind, they're still a threat, and I think that's what makes them such a strong team, as well. Um, but yeah, I think we're definitely gonna have a very close game, RNG versus PSG, even in a best of five format, because of those close games and because we've seen that RNG is not as perfect as we were expecting them to be. I'm seeing RNG versus DK in finals. I think that's kind of the expected outcome. I've seen some discussion about people thinking that PSG will actually beat RNG because PSG are able to kind of bring the heat to RNG, and we're that close to beating them 2-0 in the Rumble stage. So I don't know. I think there's a bit of a discussion around this. Um, they could, as long as they play like themselves without fucking up. PSG will probably not last in a best of five. Oh, okay, that's interesting. It's not gonna be a best of one any longer. I mean, I agree that best of five is a different beast. But what's a best of five if not just five best of ones, right? Hi Mandingo, thanks for joining. We're still not talking about football, by the way, so just want to make sure I'm not wasting your time here. Uh, and he's left. I can't believe he's done that. Okay, dude, whatever. But yeah, no, it's definitely like a different. Oh, he's back. It's definitely like a different beast, and on a best of five. But I still think that PSG it can have the how would I say this, the width of strategy necessary to if not be RNG, at least contest them enough to the point where they would be able to bring it to a full 5 game series. In my opinion, I think RNG definitely are going to be very scary and are going to be coming into a best of five like a massive team. Who might surprise us and just actually beat PSG 3-0 and say like, yep, that's us, guys. That's our actual level. So whoever wants to face us in the finals, you better get ready because now we're in best of fives. I know, like I mentioned during the Rumble stage, like, oh, are they sandbagging or anything? And some of you guys were like, oh yeah, they're just they're having fun, and maybe they were hiding some strategies. Like they were sure to be qualified in the top two and not face Damwon Gaming or Damwon Kia, sorry, I should say, um, in the playoff stage. So maybe they, I mean, I don't like using the term they didn't play as serious as they would have, but maybe they didn't play like full out their hidden strategies or things like this. So we'll see. We'll see what they bring to the table. I'm still, first of all, I'm kind of hyped for this best of five. I think it's a strong series we're looking forward to. I think definitely Maple is going to be the best mid laner here. Then it's like kind of Way versus River, like how they face each other, and then it's like how hard does Gala decide to pop off, like Dogo, the ADC from PSG. Like he's decent, but Gala is just on a stratospheric, like he's on a different galaxy. Oh, galaxy. Hey, I didn't even mean to say that. That's actually a good pun. He's on a different galaxy. So I'm keeping that in. I am not editing that out. So yeah, it's gonna be a banger of a series, to be honest. And I personally think obviously RNG is gonna win, but I think we're definitely gonna see a full 5 game result in the end. And looking on the other side of the bracket this time, we will have Damwon versus Mad Lions. Now, again, Damwon pretty much gone undefeated if it isn't losing against RNG and only RNG, right? So I hope we see more Canyon Rumble. I wish I was that good as playing Rumble in the jungle as these guys were. Like I get like really good scores, but I just can't carry my team. That's why I'm hard stuck. But maybe I need to go over some of the VODs to see exactly what they do. I think the main difference is that they actually have good teammates. You know, I'm just held back by my team. GG. I should be challenger, but team holding me back. Anyways, we're not here to talk about me. We're here to talk about Damwon versus Mad Lions. Um, I don't think that is exciting as RNG PSG is going to be. Mad Lions, unfortunately, was not able to beat Damwon, and I don't feel like it ever came close to Mad Lions actually beating them. Like they had some games where they had the advantage in the early game, but that's just like Damwon's weak point. It's like you can own the early game, but they're just gonna own the map. Like their macro is just so good that you're gonna look at the top score bar and you're gonna say, oh wow, Damwon is like down 4 or 5 kills, but for some reason they're 3k ahead. And then you look into the details. Oh yeah, they're 2 turrets to 0. They have 1 to 2 Drake advantage, and you look at the CS and like, oh, they're like roughly 10 CS ahead per role, per player. All right, okay, that's how they gain the advantage. That's how they control the game. Sure, you can kill them. You can say, oh yeah, I killed Ghost, dude. Oh, I killed Showmaker. There was like 4v1, but we killed him. Put that in my resume. But in the end, there's still a goal difference, and it doesn't really matter because when it comes to moving more into the macro level of the game, that one's like, yep, we've already got turrets. We're taking space into your half of the map, and you better be careful where you walk, or else we're just gonna catch you. And then we're just gonna take those small advantages, and then already spread further the gold advantage that we have, which is a couple of thousands to 5, 6, 7k, and just snowball out of control. And then we're in your base and we're closing the game. So in that sense, again, from group stage to Rumble stage, Mad Lions had to kind of tighten up their game. They managed to get a game off of RNG as other teams managed to. They won 1-1 against PSG. They went 1-1 against Cloud9. I've seen like a small part of an interview from Karzi talking a bit about Burnout, which I can understand. It's a very compact version of an international stage. A lot of teams to play, a lot of draft strategy to come up with, which I guess also involves a lot of scrims, a lot of prep. I don't have much hope for Mad Lions here. I'm not sure what they need to do at this stage. I don't think there's enough time between what they play on Saturday, I believe, right? There's this whole drama about RNG playing tomorrow when they should be playing on Saturday. And there's been some comment about Damwon about this. I don't know if you guys heard about this. Maybe check on Twitter just to be sure. Well, if Mascot didn't get held back by his teammate, he would be our new jungler. Facts, dude. Facts. Mandingo doesn't speak much, but when he does, he tells the truth. Let's see what you guys have been saying. Rumble is deceptively difficult. He does a lot of damage, but as Scott says, it's difficult to transfer leads with it. And it shows in its solo queue win rate. Yes. One thing I've noted as well is that before Rumble used to be very good into the late game because his equalizer would just basically shred you because you were able to build Leandrids. Now Leandrids, because I believe it provides mana, is not really an optimal item, and you would go Night Harvester, and it will do like the initial damage, and if you stay in the equalizer, and it's more like upfront damage, like the burst damage, but it's not like damage over time, which was really the big aspect of not only his Q but his equalizer, and in the mid to late game where he would just like be an absolute monster. So I think this is where the transfer into being a threat and the longer the game goes, I feel like he drops off. Maybe into the late game. Maybe if you build, is it demonic helm or whatever? Um, I should really. I'm not sure if you want to learn Rumble, Phil. It's let's keep it at the Volibear for now, the simple one. I play Volibear as well. We have to make it simple for us jungler. Um, even so Morgana, like she's easy to clear with because she's just stupid. You just put her W on the floor, and you can like do blue and Gromp, and if you're really good, you can do like red and Raptors. But there's just like tiny pixel where you can actually get both of them, and the patience level on the Raptors doesn't get depleted. This is like, if any of you guys are junglers or know about this, you will know that red into Raptors doing both of them, or if you've played Fiddlesticks for instance, it's like you need to find that little piece, that little cross section where both camps will not just go towards you, lose their literal patience bar, go back, come back because of the burn from your jungle item, and it's just back and forth while you're trying to find that sweet spot. It's very hard to do, and while you're doing this, you have to look at the other lanes to see what's happening, wave management, and all of this. So yeah, but I mean, Diana's pretty good. I haven't seen much Diana in competitive. They did it when they did the cheese combo with Diana and Yasuo, but apart from that, um, yeah. But Morgana's like pretty good, and you can actually build her both with Leandris or Everfrost. And Everfrost is like, you get the stun of her Everfrost, then you can land your Q easily, and then you can follow up with your ultimate. So some variety a little bit in the build as well that can be played. But just to come back onto Damwon versus what do you call it, versus Mad Lions. Um, I just think like the mid lane difference, like Humanoid's not been. He's there on the games where he's good. He's like really good, and then he's like or he's just really bad, and he gets caught out of position. Um, I don't know. It's gonna be like a best of five of what it feels like Elyoya versus Canyon, and how Elyoya is gonna be able to put his lane forwards and completely try to outperform Canyon and Nirvana path him into infinity. So we'll see how that works out. But I don't have 9.5 second CC chain with Everfrost. Yes, exactly. I've played a few Morgana games. I haven't played her with Everfrost yet, but I know she's getting nerfed on next patch, so I might try to get as many Morgana games in before she gets completely nerfed. I mean, I don't know how hard she's gonna get nerfed, but we'll see. Cause it's like a specific nerf to her jungle, so maybe they're gonna reduce the damage percentage. Will from 185 to 155. That's fine. Her clear will be slightly slower with the 11.10 changes, which give a bit more HP to jungle. I think that just slows her a bit more, where her clear time is not bullshit and she can 6 camp before Scuttle spawns at 315. So yeah, I guess that makes her more fair in a sense. We'll see obviously how she's rated afterwards, but I think she'll still stay top tier. Like Morgana was a viable jungler before they did the bus. Like she was like a sort of pocket pick jungler before that. It's just now she got skyrocketed to oblivion like SZ triple S tier plus, because of that, and because she's able to six camp level 4, be there at Scuttle before you're even done with your blue buff, and just pretty much double Scuttle you at the same time. So yeah, that's kind of the situation with Morgana jungle. But speaking of which, we actually still saw some 11.7 junglers in the sense of like Volibear, Udyr still. Um, what else did we get? That was kind of old versions. We had some Kindred, to be honest, which was kind of good. That didn't really perform to the level we had. Was Kindred mid during Rumble stage, or was that during group stage? Can't remember when Perks played it. Was that group or Rumble stage? Well, yeah, we did have that, which I guess was something. It existed. But yeah. In any case, I don't know if anyone wants to share their prediction expectations on the playoffs, on what they're expecting, or maybe talk about one of the playoff games, so RNG versus PSG, or Damwon versus Mad Lions. I'm seeing some hashtag Madwin. Tokiko, do you want to be unmuted and explain why Mad is gonna win? You're in League. How dare you play League while I'm doing my podcast? Later, this is your one chance to. This is not. I'm not gonna wait your 30 minutes. TFT. Do you have double screen? So you can have TFT on one screen and ah, I guess. Well, okay. Well, if does anyone else maybe won the stage, if they wanna chat, or am I gonna have a non community show for the first time? It's up to you guys. Again, this is your platform. If you don't want to talk, it's your loss. I get all the screen time, baby. It's all me. It's all me. I'll move straight into predictions. I will turn this car around and close the podcast as fast as that. Wasn't Stan supposed to be here? Stan was supposed to be here. Actually, someone ping Stan right now. I don't know. He's probably playing right now, but we'll see. Someone ping Stan and say, it's time for you to share your takes. I'll give him like a couple of minutes. I'll chat with you guys in the chat. Tell me what you guys what do you think about MSI so far, about the format, what you're liking, things that you would change. I'm just gonna have a quick conversation with you guys. Tell me. You're busy, Stan. What the hell, dude? I I don't believe it. In 5 minutes. Okay, right. We'll get 5 minutes, guys. Let's have a chat then. Tell me, how's it going? What do you think of MSI? What have been your favorite games so far? Tell me, tell me, tell me. Who are your favorite players so far? Actually, who's poggers right now? There's no one talking. I'm being completely Gala. Yes, Gala. Gala is really good, guys. Gala is super scary. Is Gala the second coming of Uzi? Type 1 in the chat for yes, or 2 if you don't agree. That should have been my question of the day. Is Gala the second coming of Uzi? I'm getting a 2. Yes. Pleasantly surprised by Dogo's kiting. I mean, Dogo's like decent, you know. It's hard to kind of evaluate Dogo when you have players like bloody Kala who exist, who are like putting the standard just up there, you know. And then it's like, yeah, you have Dogo, Karzi, like even Ghost. I'm kind of disappointed by Ghost so far because I was kind of expecting him to maybe have a bigger level, but he's I mean he's fine, but I don't think he's outstanding as we would expect a player um, from Damwon basically. Dogo is a weird name. Yes, I mean it's an internet uwu kind of name. Um, his previous one was Doge. Dogo best name. It's everyone has their preference. So I'm getting a lot of ADCs. Who has been your favorite top laner? Actually, that's we haven't mentioned much top laners. Who has been your favorite top laner? Shao. Fudge smurfed it. Yep. Fudge is a pleasant surprise. Fudge is actually a pleasant surprise, to be honest, because again, rookie, first international stage. I think like when they did ranking for per role, he was like bottom. They're like, oh, he's gonna get stomped and everything. I believed he even like 1v1 can at some point. So he's very good. I think LS even said he considered him to be better than Alfari, which I think maybe is a big statement. We'll see in summer. I mean, obviously, Fudge won spring, uh, beating the team in which Alfari was in, but I don't remember like Alfari getting completely lane diffed by Fudge. If anything, Alfari is always like a super stable top laner. So I don't know. I don't know what you guys would think. How much do you think enemy teams pay for crying? Oh my god, crying is not impressive for a player who's supposed to be on like the top team. He's definitely the ugly duckling in RNG so far. Um, what else are you guys? Surprised me. Fudge surprised me in most games. Absolutely. The DFM top laner for DFM. Crap. What's his name? I see what you mean. Yeah. I mean, there's also Starscreen. It was pretty good from Wildcats, but as mentioned, um, I was mainly mentioning obviously Rumble Stage so far. Oh, Stan's here. All right, Stan. This is your time. I hope you're ready. We are talking about playoffs. Actually, Stan, I'm gonna have you on board here. Maybe you can talk a bit about Rumble Stage, but I want your predictions for playoffs. Is that okay for you? Give me a thumbs up if that's cool for you. He's not giving me a thumbs up. Oh, okay, okay. He's wrote thumbs up. Okay, Stan. The stage is gonna be yours. Guys, get ready. Right. Oh. Stan, are you able to unmute yourself, Stan? You are.
Yes.
Perfect. Stan, welcome back. How's it going?
Sorry, I was in game, sorry.
Yeah, you're excused, but first time and last time, okay? You cannot come into the community podcast channel when I make the initial announcement of the show and be like, "Oh yeah, I've got things to say, guys," and not showing up throughout the whole podcast. So I'm happy that you're here.
120 in normal games, so I was very focused.
It's okay. I've seen you're having a lot of success with Maokai Jungle, so
Yeah.
you'll have to teach me if that's a pocket pick, because maybe that's something I can bamboozle and cheat my way up to plat maybe this season. So, but nonetheless,
Maybe.
Stan, let me know what you thought
Yep.
about the Rumble stage. Any highlights and what are your expectations? Maybe your predictions for the playoffs.
Um, so I mean, for the Rumble stage, I mean, I think my prediction were okay. Like I said, no, Cloud9 was probably bad. I mean, actually, they played better than I expected, than
Mm-hmm.
most people expected, I guess. And Mad Lions were fine, I guess. Kind of sometimes good, sometimes very YOLO.
Sometimes maybe
But
good, sometimes maybe shit.
yeah, but they were. Yeah, I mean, they did fine, I guess. PSG was kind of insane.
Yeah, big surprise from PSG. I agree.
Yeah, kind of clean. And I mean, for playoff, uh, I will go for the safe. I mean, RNG and Damwon. I think it's no balls, but like Mad Lions, I feel they're kind of easy to prepare against them. So
Mm.
I don't think Damwon will lose. And RNG, I mean RNG they could lose to PSG, I guess. Yeah, maybe, but I still think RNG win. So yeah, I go for final Korea against China.
And on the final, who do you think is gonna win?
Um, I think it depends a lot on the semi-final
Mm-hmm.
because RNG is 2-0, I think, against Damwon.
Yep, absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah, but on the other end, they lost to like Cloud9, Mad Lions, and PSG.
That's the thing.
So
Yeah,
yeah, that's why it's hard to. I hope RNG win, I guess.
you
If I had
you,
to choose
you don't want
between
to see
Damwon and
Korea win, or do you have any preference, like any favorite player in RNG that you want to see win?
no, I really dislike both teams. So
Fair enough. Fair enough.
I don't like Damwon, and I'm EDG fanboy, so I don't like
I see.
RNG.
I see. I see.
Very sad life.
I
But
get you.
maybe PSG, Mad Lion, maybe they do it. I don't know.
PSG Mad Lions finals. Okay, this is a hot take. Sure. um,
Yeah.
no, I agree that the PSG RNG game is going to be probably the closest out of the semifinals. Um, I still think RNG is going to win. For obviously because it's a best of five. But yeah, the finals. It's as you mentioned. It's kind of weird because Damwon beat everyone except RNG, and RNG lost
Yeah.
against different teams, but they managed to beat Damwon twice. So does it just mean that Damwon, like RNG, is Damwon's kryptonite at this stage, and it's like, well, Damwon coming out of the Rumble stage is looking like the strongest team by their score and the way they're playing, but just because RNG's playstyle is goes completely against, or so I should say, counters Damwon, then it's kind of GG. It's like, well, you did well, Damwon. You're probably gonna obliterate Mad Lions 3-0 or 3-1 in a very convincing way. But then you face your nemesis and your kryptonite RNG. It's like, well, you're probably gonna go 3-1 or something, or 1-3, I should say, in that case. And thank you for coming. It was a good try, good attempt, but RNG just play a style that you can't defeat and you're not able to prepare against. So I don't know. It's gonna be
Yeah. And they have Damwon have one less day to prepare, I think.
yeah. That was a
So
big
yeah,
controversy. I don't. I was wondering how much that actually plays
I
into
think it's
consider.
big actually
Yeah.
because at the end of the semi-final you're kind of exhausted, I guess. If it goes like 5 games, it finished late,
Yeah.
and you need to prepare for tomorrow, and it's like you just have a few hours
Mm.
to prepare. Because the
That's
morning, I think they don't prepare. Like the morning, I think
nah.
they take some photo and video for Riot Games.
Yeah, I
I mean,
think
I
they have
think,
like press and stuff like this, but even then, it's like, I mean, I'm just thinking about this from the point of view of like a viewer, and thinking that you play your best of five, and then you have like a day rest, but not only you have a day rest, but you get to literally see one of your
Yeah,
potential opponents go through a
true.
best of five. So you're like, oh, that's how they're playing, So not only, if things happens the way we are predicting them with RNG winning against PSG, they're gonna be like, oh, we're probably gonna play against Damwon. They're already stronger than Damwon from the Rumble stage, and they're like, we're gonna look at them. Oh, okay, that's how they play. Okay, now we're prepared. We're ready to go in. I don't know if they're gonna do some scrims or whatsoever to prepare and warm up, but it's like there's a massive advantage, and I know there's been some complaints
Yeah.
regarding the schedule, especially coming from Damwon, thinking there's like some favoritism towards RNG, which I don't think there is. I just think Riot kind of mismanaged the scheduling here, but I think depending on the outcome of the final, there's going to be a lot of discussion if we have RNG versus Damwon, and
Yep.
RNG's just completely obliterate Damwon. So maybe
At
I'm.
least they have an excuse if they lose, If Damwon lose, they can blame this.
I mean, I guess I don't think it's Korea style to sana excuse their losses. They're more like taking it on the chin and saying we lost, so we need to improve. We're not
Yep.
we're not good enough. But there'll definitely be a lot of discussions around this and some controversy depending on the of how this best of this finals is played, and if it's just really like one sided. Get
Mhm.
ready for a shitstorm, Riot. That's all I'm saying, because yeah, it's not looking good. There's even Koma who complained about it. So yeah, we'll see how that affects it. But yeah, what scores are you giving for both games and the finals?
I think 3-1 for Damwon
Mm-hmm.
and 3-2 for RNG.
Mm-hmm. And for the
Yeah.
finals,
And for the finals, uh, I think 3-1 for Damwon, actually.
3-1 for that one. Okay, interesting,
Yeah.
interesting, cool.
But I feel like RNG, the way they win sometimes is like it's a lot by map, like rotation and stuff
Mm-hmm.
like this. So and less by like team fight and stuff. So I I feel like Damwon could just like beat them and in the early game, let's say. I mean, yeah, they suck early game, so I don't know.
Yeah, that's actually something I was gonna say from Fire, who put forward that Damwon has a big early game problem, and I think that's
Yeah,
what
actually,
that's what makes RNG so strong against them, because RNG has really good early game.
yeah.
So yeah, you have to out.
But maybe like in team fights, stuff like this, In team fights, RNG looks less good than Damwon, I feel.
Um, you think so? I don't know. I feel RNG is just like kind of insane and just like impromptu team fights. Just like, oh, we're fighting now. Oh, well, we win. Like this. This is the PSG game where the second PSG RNG game where PSG looked like they were gonna win. It felt like they just won one team fight after the other. They kept winning and winning and winning and winning, and it's like, well, now we win the game and it's GG. So there should have been a break for a week before finals. Had it not been in COVID, sure, I think they have a specific time frame they have to respect before having to do like tests or whatsoever, or having to leave the country. So I think I saw or read something about this or heard something about this. So I think that's why it's so like compact. And maybe also in terms of viewership. This is Boomer who's sharing this. One team always has to think about two consecutive best of five, which is pretty dumb. In this current format, yeah, it's a bit of a down. It's downsizing the intensity, I would say, of the final, because it's going to be a rough one for whoever wins Damwon versus Mad Lions and has to go into the finals, and definitely whoever wins RNG versus PSG goes with a strong advantage against the other teams. So you know, an extra week of Showmaker trying to keep his inner peace, and so yeah. You guys see that? Yeah, yeah. It's actually quite funny to see Korean Chinese players having the EU West experience. That's that's
Yeah,
quite
it's
a
fun.
banger. That's quite a banger. But yeah, was there anything else you wanted to add to this, Stan?
Uh, no, I mean, I will still root for Mad Lions. Maybe they can catch a win. Um, let's hope so.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah, we'll
no,
see. I hope we also get a good version of Mad Lions that even if they don't win, they at least put a fight. But we'll see. We'll see. Again, there's time, there's burnout, there's so many variables within this format that we don't know exactly what we're gonna have in the best of five. But in any case, Stan, thank you for jumping off your game, for joining us, for sharing your
thank you.
opinion as you said you would. I'm just gonna put you in the viewing party and then bring you back here for muting purposes. But yeah, guys, I'm gonna wrap this up really quickly. I'm going to just share my predictions, even though I mentioned them. I did a bit of graphics, and Lidden is not here, but he's showed me something that is just so good on in terms of Photoshop. So I'm going to, for people watching on YouTube right now, you should have it on your screen. I'm gonna share my screen. Crap. Let's see. I have to do this and that. Okay, and now you should be able to see. Yep. So those are my predictions for the semifinals. I've got RNG winning 3-2 against PSG. I think it's going to be a very close game between the both of them. Damwon versus Mad Lions. I think they're maybe going to clutch one game, but it's going to be a steamroll. I think for Damwon, they're going to have a very easy game, and then going into into the finals. Oops, there we go. Um, it's gonna be, I believe, 3-1 for RNG. The simple reason, as I mentioned, there's the sort of results that we got from the Rumble stage, where RNG just destroyed Damwon. I think Damwon's still gonna get a game in a best of five, but unless they have a magical wand and they fix their early game, I don't think that one's gonna have much of a chance against RNG. So yeah, that's kind of it for my predictions. Boom, and that's it. So quickly, guys, before I end this episode. This is the last episode of MSI. I'm not gonna do one next week, just for the finals. I don't think there's much purpose to it. It wouldn't be too long, anyways. So it would be like a short episode. What I will be doing, obviously, as I mentioned, is a pre-summer split episode where I'll be covering very quickly finals from MSI. Um, Roster moves, which will have been confirmed. I know you guys wanted me to talk about Fnatic today and some moves and blah blah blah. We're getting there. We're getting there. What about a Valorant podcast? I'm getting there. I don't know enough about Valorant, guys. I it is in a sort of bucket list pipeline, whatever you want to call it, that I would do like a broader podcast about everything Fnatic. Right now, I'm trying to be good at this already just by focusing on one game, one that I somewhat understand and control so far. So give me some time. I need a bit more resources. I need a better internet, and then I'll see what I'll do afterwards. But in any case, guys, I'll see you. I think is it the 11th of June, I believe it starts, so probably the day before. I still have to confirm. I might do some movement in between in my personal life, so I don't know where I'll be. I don't know when I'll be streaming, where I'll be streaming. But in any case, guys, thank you for being here tonight. There's a lot of you for sharing your opinions. Super glad to have you there. See you in a couple of weeks. I'm gonna chill, take some rest, focus on some personal stuff, and I will see you next time. Thank you, always Fnatic. See you guys next time. Bye bye.